Sci-Fi ball in Southampton that's taking place all this weekend. As we said before, it raises money for the Cancer Charity Trust, which is a wonderful charity that looks after young people who are going through treatment for cancer. So if you can't get here this weekend, it's on till tomorrow. Please come along next year. Come for the weekend. It's one big party. It's really good fun. So we really hope to see you there. Now, yesterday we were doing our live stream and we were talking about the guests at this event, and we were mentioning, we just mentioned how excited we were to see. We've never met you. No, we've never met yourself. And just for our viewers, Jennifer, you played Miss Kyle.
I did.
In The Next Generation.
The school teacher.
Alexander's teacher in the episode New Ground, The Next Generation. Why I was so excited about this was because we see so many characters that one-off characters in the series who we never see again, and most of them don't make an impact. But for some reason, Miss Kyle just stood out. As I think it was the way you were able to stand up to Worf.
Yes.
How was that for you standing up to Michael Dorn? Did you have any idea of his character beforehand? Or?
Yes, I was very aware of the show for a lot of reasons. Brent Spiner I knew personally before the show, and my brother's first wife was Denise Crosby.
Oh, really?
Little trivia there. So my former sister-in-law was on the show, so I knew a lot about the show. But it's funny. I was talking this morning about how I was in Las Vegas at the Star Trek. Was it last year or the year before? And the school teachers, the amount of school teachers that came up to me, who said that Miss Kyle really influenced them in dealing with parents that had difficult children. And one woman in particular said, I watched the episode over and over, and I watched how you dealt with Worf as a dad and all that. And I thought, well, my job here is down there. But and I mean, originally there was talk of Miss Kyle being a regular on the show, and then the son wasn't picked up. But so I didn't really do much research. I thought in my head, oh well, if it continues, then I'll maybe do some more research or whatever. But I get recognized more as Miss Kyle than any other role I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's it was one episode.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What would you say was your most popular role outside in your career? Heidi was popular.
Probably Heidi. I mean, people obviously don't recognize me as the 10-year-old in braids anymore, but I'm known for that for a lot of reasons. I did. There was a film I did called A Perfect Match, which was very big in festivals.
Okay.
So even though it had a release, for some reason it played a lot of movie festivals. And so for a while I was recognized too.
I was going to ask actually if you were going to be considered as a recurring character, that would have been really good. So it was only the fact that Alexander never continued as a
character.
That's a shame.
I know.
Yeah.
And I think I heard that he passed away.
Yeah, one of the actors did.
Sad. It's very sad.
Yeah, so it was a shame.
But interesting this morning too was another bit of trivia. Somebody asked me during the Q&A. He had a book, and in the Star Trek book, it said, and of course now I don't remember specifically what it was, but I was referred to as Miss Kyle by one character, but then I was referred to as Mrs. Kyle.
Ooh. I've been trying to get my head around whether you were Miss or Mrs. I thought you were Mrs. Kyle, and then I memory alphabet it like you do, and it said Miss Kyle.
Yeah, but somebody he was wondering if there was some sort of background or foreground that was so anyway, I have to maybe call Card on the new show. Maybe it was his fault.
the Riker and Troy, of course, now have a kid. You never know, so there could be a new for a teacher.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay.
We obviously think Star Trek fans are the best fans. How has your reaction been with Star Trek fans? Is it always positive? Is it always good?
By and large,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally you get somebody who's a little bit fixated, too much. But all in all, yeah, I love that, especially because I've done a couple of shows, but I only did the Star Trek one once before this. I did a Hollywood show and I did a sports thing, but the Star Trek one, I was really, so many people were so grateful.
Yeah.
That's what I really liked about it, was that they honestly were grateful that I was there. They, thanked me for being there, and that's what I thought was really, unusual in a way,
It was 30 years ago that episode aired almost. I know. And when you said that you still get recognised as it, you look amazing. You look just like Miss Carl. As soon as I saw you, I thought, that was Carl. You don't look like you today.
That was so bizarre, though, that here I am standing in the lobby in my bathing costume because I'm trying to get into the jacuzzi, and I hear, Jennifer, at my name, and I was like,
yes, that was so
is that God?
Yeah.
And I turned around and yeah.
But do you, although it was 30 years ago, do you have any memories that stand out from that day?
Well, I shot all week,
so
not specific memories. I mean, other than the fact that my dad used to have an office on the Paramount lot, so I was very familiar to the and I felt sort of nostalgic being on the lot, but nothing. No, I don't really. I mean, I got along really, really well with everybody, and I mean, I think the only thing that I was concerned about was my costume, because I mean, those things are, if there's any little, something. Fortunately, it was 30 years ago. I was in better shape.
Oh, great. Well, are you still acting at the moment?
Yeah. I did actually. Well, I was doing writing. I sort of took a break, and I've been writing. I wrote a book. I wrote a novel, and I wrote a few screenplays, but I did a play a couple of years ago, and realized that I really, really missed performing. So just signed with some new management and looking for more work. So yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk
You're
to us.
so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kai. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Absolutely.
And thank you everyone for watching. And remember to come to the cycle.
Come to more events.
Blondes.
Almost.
Thank you.